Hey, bro, make sure y'all go follow my man's podcast, bro. Because if y'all don't, I'm going to report you a page to the motherfucking... Damn. I'm going to report this shit to IG.
All right. Well, another episode of Teztalks. I know it's been a while. I've been busy doing some things, but I do have a great guest today. My name, introduce yourself.
All right, so my name is Mar'tavius Proctor. I am a candidate for Palm Bluff City Council, Ward 4. That is the areas of Dalloway, Townsend Park, UAPB, University Park, and portion of that West Pullen, Lake Saracen area here in Palm Bluff, Arkansas.
That's a lot to cover. This is a lot to cover. Yeah. So let's get straight to it, because we both got things that we doing. You know what I'm saying? So first things first. How old are you?
So I am 22 years old. I've been a native here of Palm Bluff pretty much all my life. Graduated from the University of Arkansas at Palm Bluff just this past December with a Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice.
Okay. So with that being said, how would you deal with the controversy of being your age or whatnot? I know people look at you crazy because you run for council but you're 22.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with the controversy?
Well, if you want to really go into those dynamics, which a lot of we just had we had a candidate forum and a debate in which age and experience was a topic that was brought up. If you want to really go into it, any great leader or any leader at all had to start with less experience, or they had to develop. It isn't just like you're going to come into this position with absolutely knowing what you have going on or what you want to do, and the experience that you gain from doing on the job training. It elevates your experience to when you actually hold this position and your ability to work. So
because experience. I always like experience over skill and talent. Anyway, if you got more experience, you'll always do more and do better. In my opinion. Yeah. So I can understand that. Okay, what about how do you plan on serving the students of the university first off, what are you bringing to the university?
Yes. So what people in general need to realize, especially a lot of the citizens in Palm Bluff, what they need to realize is UAPB within itself. Right now we have it separate from the city of Palm Bluff, which it shouldn't be. You can go to any college town. What you're going to say, for example, you go to UCA. Mm-hmm. They incorporate their university because that's something that draws the community together and gets them all on one accord. We don't have that same presence as it relates to UAPB within the city of Palm Bluff. So that's one of the issues that I've seen, being my tenure as a student leader here at UAPB. Number two is we have, let's say, roughly 2,500 students staying on campus, right?
Okay.
If you look across the street, there is no type of development that's catering that student population. So if I hate to do it, but dating back to Conway, you look at their campus, they have shopping centers for their students, they have restaurants for their students, something to keep that student population engaged into that city. If you want to look at our dynamics, all we have across the street is fields, a lot of car washes, and then we have Thomas Grocery, which is a great small business, great small business. Especially when you want to come in and get that cheap meal that's actually pretty good. So I'm not saying that that's an issue, but we need to expand on those ideas and those principles of bringing businesses on that side of town.
Okay.
On this side of town and on that side of the street of University Drive.
Okay, so what would you plan on bringing to the city by itself? You know what I'm saying?
So number one, in order for you to have those things that students want to see, you got to have that seat at the table, right? Mm-hmm. So number one, I'm committed to being that seat. The younger generation is going to be the generation to actually move a lot of the things, shift the way of thinking. Because right now we're set on getting Palm Bluff back to where it used to be, which is a horrible way to think about it. Because if you want to think about it, back then technology wasn't as big as it is now, right?
Okay.
So if you want to really compete with other cities and offer things that other cities aren't offering, you have to get with the times. It's the 21st century. There is no way we don't have electronic billboards or any type of, large companies in Palm Bluff. And I was just explaining to a student that I ran over into Chick-fil-A. We were, having this conversation. And he said his main concern was, him graduating. And he loves the culture that we have here, right?
Okay.
But there's anything for him as it relates to the workforce and his career, and he doesn't see himself building his family, his legacy here in Pine Bluff because of that. So first, one thing that I would like to do is actually go out. I'm a big advocate of if you build up the people, then the community will also thrive, right? So in order for us to actually go out and recruit large companies, you first have to start off with what you have. We have great small business, great entrepreneurs here, but the problem that we're having is how do they start up to build their revenue? Because as a business owner, I'm going to look at, number one, do we have the workforce to supply our company, right? And number two is how's the culture there? If we have a culture that's not very, entrepreneur and business friendly, then of course I'm not going to move my business there, right?
It'd be a stupid decision because we're going to be making no money. So,
exactly. Yeah. So as an entrepreneur that's already based here in Pine Bluff, what incentives are we offering for them to actually start up and build that platform to become large companies, right?
Okay.
There's no incentive. So one of the things that I've talked about and I've did some research on that they offer in other cities out of state is an adaptive reuse program. Now, here in Pine Bluff, we have a large population of abandoned buildings and historic buildings that aren't in use. We have pretty much 3 downtown that recently got facelifts and everything. And don't get me wrong, it's attractive buildings. But when we actually go into the inside and the interior of those buildings, it's still not renovated. So that adaptive reuse program is actually gonna be that tool to connect funding to those those spaces, and then we have as a council need to figure out incentives to provide to our small businesses that we want to occupy those spaces.
Okay. Well, everything's sounding good, you know what I'm saying? I know actions speak louder than words, but the way you're talking, man, ain't nobody worried about that because the way you're talking, you're going to back everything up. So, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's cool. Okay, we're gonna do some little icebreakers real quick. So, do you have anything that you want the public to know about you? You know what I'm saying? Any special skills, hobbies, talents, anything like that?
I think my greatest skill is being an advocate. I feel like with every great leader, you have to be able to advocate. You're not doing it off of personal agendas, but you're doing it for a group of people, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can't advocate and actually get things done, something that other people want to see change, then, you're not really a good leader.
True. Okay. Another little icebreaker. So what made you join Phi Beta Sigma?
What made me join Phi Beta Sigma? Okay. So just going back to my days at Dalloway High School, which is a local high school here in Pine Bluff, the education I received there, it wasn't just academic, right? So it was kind of more, I guess, life skills and more personable for me because they also taught me not only the academics, but they also taught me, to give back to my community, be a servant, and, do everything righteous and, with a good heart and everything. And I kind of took that with me throughout college and everything. So I've always been in the community doing these service projects. So seeing an organization that's committed to this, that has the same values as myself personally, it was a no-brainer that I was going to join Phi Beta Sigma. Even though I am a legacy of a man of Phi Beta Sigma, I think because we're Greek, we get this, kind of this perception that, he's a legacy, he's going to join that. Well, in reality, for me, it was more personal. What organization actually aligns with my values and what I want to get accomplished in life. And if you actually go back to the history of Phi Beta Sigma and some of the great men that has joined that great fraternity, you see a lot of those advocates and a lot of those servicemen that's already planted in those fields. Okay. So for me, it was more of a personal thing. I just feel like that I'm not even gonna say that's. I feel like that's actually where I fit in at as it relates to society.
Yeah, it felt like a natural fit. So
yeah,
okay, no problem. Cool. Okay, so hypothetically, years from now, let's say you get elected. Cool.
Yeah, right.
You're in council. You're in office. Cool. What are your future plans after that, though? Like possible mayor, possible, anything like that. You got to dream big.
Yeah. I'm definitely keeping my options open. I know when I was in high school, I used to joke about it. Truth be told, I really didn't get into politics until I didn't get that deep into politics until Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton. Okay. And I always had the ideology that, if Donald Trump can do it, so can I, right? So Right now, it's uncertain. I did have a goal of running for mayor, but I know whatever I choose to do, I want it to be not for my personal experience, but I actually want it to benefit other people in life.
So, because when I went to Fayetteville, first week of school, I was talking to my boss in my internship, and I told him something that I didn't realize I was going to say it, but when I said it, it kind of stuck with me. So it was like, oh, okay, I'd rather people know me for, like, the things I've done, the job that I do, instead of, like, actually being known for, oh, yeah, he's famous, or, oh, yeah, no. I want you to know me for the work I've done, and the stuff that I've done in the past to get me to where I'm at now.
Right.
I'd rather be known for, like, the good, positive stuff before just being known as a famous personality, whatever. Because, I mean, it's cool and all. The money's great. Like, we ain't gonna talk about the money's great. But what's my, like, you know what I'm saying? What's my longevity? What's my legacy?
You also got to look at the dynamics of actually being rich and famous, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people that, people of the middle class and lower class look up to, they're actually miserable inside because they don't have that, to fall back on. There's no accomplishment. All we have to show for is money, right? Yeah. And I think for some people, we think that having a lot of money is actually going to get you, things in life, when in reality there's no point in having those good things in life if you're miserable on the inside.
And then even then, if you're miserable on the inside, like, I feel like if you got all this quote unquote money, because I mean, again, if you're a rapper or anything like that, you have the money, bro. You give back to the community.
To your community,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how you build a good, positive. Oh yeah, he was a great person. I remember he was a kid. He might have fell off a little bit, but you always get back to your people. Always remember where you came from. You don't never just want to talk trash about it. So I can understand that.
And it's crazy that you say that, because if you want to actually look into the economy of within the black community, we have a tendency of not doing that,
exactly.
Right? But a fun fact is the person that founded the Black Wall Street was from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
See, you learn something new here on Teztalk every day. I tell people
he was from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Yes. There's a book that I have, and I try to carry it around. I think it's in my car, and it gives the history of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And today we don't really talk about that book. It gives all the entrepreneurs, what did they do, not just in Pine Bluff, but around the country. Mm-hmm. There was an author. He wrote a book, and he's down in Texas teaching at, I want to say it was Texas College. And he kind of got into the depth of one of the people that's actually mentioned in the book. And I did like a little brief internship with State Senator Stephanie Flowers, and now she's actually into, that type of stuff like heavily. Okay. Because her building downtown is actually constructed by black architects, right? Okay. And that same black architect actually built multiple buildings within the city of Pine Bluff. So if we actually take the time out to acknowledge our, history and actually be able to present ourselves better than what we normally are known for, I feel like the culture here and the way people see Pine Bluff will also change.
Hey man, look. Cause I know Critical Purpose, they doing the theme Critical Purpose. Shout out to y'all on the yard, anything like that. So they're going around interviewing, entrepreneurs on campus. Because there was a time where, they would try to shut us, any entrepreneurs on campus down. Oh, you can't cut hair, anything like that. Stupid. We need to make money around here, bro. That's how you grow your student, your fan base, all that. That's how you do all that. So Critical Purpose, shout out to y'all. Hopefully when I get the chance, I'm going to go get a little QR code, let y'all come holler at me or whatnot. But anything else you got to say? You know what I'm saying? I know.
And I'm going to just piggyback on that. Because I know I remember that because I was on campus. I was on campus when that happened, and I don't knock any entrepreneur for especially if they're a college student that's actually trying to go out and get money the right way, right? Yeah. I feel like that was something that was kind of petty. You're stopping people from being successful.
Facts.
We preach that we want, our students to succeed in life, and we want them to stay out the streets and stop them from gangbang and all of that. But then when they're actually doing something productive that's actually catered towards being successful, you're taking those privileges away.
You can't take away a positive construct if you got people living quote unquote in a negative construct.
Definitely.
Now I'm not talking down the yard, but come on, that
wasn't an issue that needed to be addressed.
Not at all, man.
And that's why going back to my fraternity, we took the initiative. We actually held a Black in Business event where we actually had a competition. It's kind of like a pitch competition, and you're pitching in front of these judges, and whoever had the best business plan and their business pitch, we awarded them $250 towards their business.
See, that sounds like something I did. I don't know if you know him, but his name is Derek Rainey.
I know Derek.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
I actually got an episode with him. So now I got this with you. I'm gonna drop this episode on YouTube first. I'm gonna drop yours.
Derek Rainey. Yeah,
that's my guy.
That's
my guy.
Yeah, that's my guy too.
They had a same thing, like a little entrepreneur, little club, teaching you how to throw a pitch, anything like that. Cause my mom, shout out to my dukes, she makes like bodybuilders and shape builders and stuff like that. I came up with a couple of names and helped like the slogans and all that, and helped her do the pitch and all that. It was cool. Like that's the type of stuff we need down here. We can't keep saying Arkansas the natural state, but we don't really got nothing but trees and stuff here. But we like business and revenue. People don't come here. This is a retirement state, so it's like we need more to do. We need more to branch out and see stuff like that.
Yeah. Another thing that we need to realize is that problems that we face as the middle and lower class aren't going to be solved just by voting in federal elections. Yeah. You also have to dive deeper and vote in these local elections, because think about it. The president, even though you would think he has control of where the tax money goes, ultimately, the immediate effect of it is that the mayor and the city council dictates where your tax money is spent towards. Yeah. So, actually, in our previous debate, we just had the person that I'm running against, my opponent. He made the statement, and it's been in my head because it's a wild statement, man. It's wild. He made the statement that I don't think we need to build a movie theater. I think we just need to, put up a big screen in the convention center. Okay, with that type of ideology, you're not going to attract nobody. I said, then on top of that, you're limiting people to what they actually can do. Yep. I said, we need an actual movie theater for people to go to, because who wants to sit there and say that they play Princess and the Frog, right? And it's just hypothetical. Okay. They play Princess and the Frog. Well, that's a movie that's catered towards the youth, right? Yeah. But then there's also people that's our age and people that's above that you also have to cater towards. So we can't do that on just one screen. And even then, I understand where you're coming from as far as utilizing that convention center, but we don't need to do it in that way. That's why we have movie theaters.
See, like, I feel like for the convention center, that should be like strictly for, of course, election and debates and stuff like that. But then you also have concerts. The convention center kind of big. It's huge. Yeah. Concerts, if y'all want Disney on Ice in Palm Bluff or something, y'all can do that. But see, you can't do that if you ain't bringing no money.
If you're not bringing money, right? And this side of town is the fastest economically declined portion of Palm Bluff. Crazy. We haven't utilized. We have the resources. UAPB alone should not be in the
drought that it's in.
Yeah, that it's in. And we also have Heston Stadium, right? Yep. Heston Stadium, we have that one portion where it's like a more of an inside venue space, and then we also have the rodeo style space stadium. We should be tapping into those, black rodeos, those regular rodeos, bringing them in. That draws in revenue. When we had the black rodeo at the convention center, I did a TikTok. There were so many people from other cities tapped into that TikTok. So I was like, oh my God, I didn't know this was going on. When is the next one? Those are the possibilities that we have here in Pine Bluff. And just to go back to, the students, man, ain't no way.
Because honestly, that's a lot of students on here that actually ride horses and ride bulls and do rodeos and stuff like that. That's country, like mud riding. Yeah. I mud ride. I love it. So it's like, come on, like y'all got the spots for it. Y'all got to build them up. Y'all have to. We do. That's the only way for us to leave where we at now and literally elevate. That's the only way.
We also need to do a better job of highlighting the university. Yeah. If you go down University Drive, you'll never see that anything advertised about UAPB. We need that presence because, like I said, that's what's going to create the culture.
And see, I'm glad that you said that because we're getting ready to wrap this up, right? So, the protest we had today. Now, I feel like it felt more of a forum than it felt an actual protest. Protests, especially growing up, reading like history books, whatever. Protests are known for like signs and bull horns, air horns. Of course, the prominent Black Panthers and stuff like that. You feel me? So, what is your take on how? Because I know you already said you want to bring stuff to the school. We need to advertise everything, yada, 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 yada. So how you feel like the students, especially being a former student yourself, how do you feel the students could have handled that and how you feel we could turn all that around?
Yeah. So first, let me just start off by saying not just bring stuff to the school, right? Because ultimately what I would like to see is once you're here for 4 years, you get that degree, I want you to be able to actually get a job in your field here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So we actually want to bring a lot of the tools that's catered towards, UAPB students and the youth in general. And the workforce that we have isn't, supportive of those degrees. So we actually want to bring those tools, and spread that across Pine Bluff. As far as the protest, I think the students, you have that First Amendment right, freedom of speech, right? True. So I think they've handled that appropriately. But I also think that you have the momentum. You've started it, right? Keep it going. Okay. That's what's going to lead to change. Okay. Now, I'm always going to be an advocate of doing it decent and in order, right? Honestly. Unless you really just have to ruffle some feathers, which, in any protest, you're going to have to ruffle some feathers, right? But at the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you're doing it on your end. You want to make sure things are in decent and in order because you don't want any consequences coming back to bite you in the butt. But as far as the protest, I think the momentum was there. Just got to make sure, find a way to keep it going.
So the election is when?
All right, so early voting starts February 19th. The election is actually March the 5th. And voter registration, if you have not done so, I am here all week registering voters until February 5th. That is the deadline.
You can catch them Chick-fil-A, you catch them Starbucks, catch them at the library where we at right now. I know you saw some people walking by. Feels like I'm on an episode of Martin. Yeah, man, look, vote for my boy, tap in with the podcast. Also, I'm flicking it up now. I got me a camera, so if you need Teztalk, my business page, of course. So, you know what I'm saying? It was good. Yeah, we'll be out the thing, y'all.
I'm the best at what I do. I'm just saying that it's me versus whoever wanna lose. Pick anyone.